Join us on Geek Blur, the show you can't ignore. Ray and Kevin diving deep into all things galore. Comic book, movie, sci-fi, and action thrill. Reviewing new TV shows, we keep it real, real. Reminiscing the Attitude Era, wrestling at its peak. Nostalgia from the 80s and 90s, memories we seek. Pineapples for our rings, a unique touch. Geek culture in our blood, we love it so much. Geek Blur forever, we love it so much. Geek Blur, where we talk about it all, from superheroes to wrestlers. We stand tall, Ray and Kevin, the dynamic duo in sight. Geek Blur, shining bright, shining bright. Did you hear about Pluto? Let's messed up right. Geek Blur, taking you on a nostalgia flight. From movies to TV, we cover it all. Join us and every week we'll have a ball. Shuffle.
Hey, what's happening?
Not much, man. Not much. I just got off the Fort of the Night playing as Butters Stotch
Oh yeah,
with Towley as a sidekick. I went to Cartman Land.
nice. I have that all in the news. Yeah, we'll talk
Yeah.
about that. Welcome everybody to another spectacular week of Geek Blurb. Talk about what we watched this week. Watched a couple of things. Fallout, episode 4. Show is getting pretty good. I really do like this show. I like the way it's done. I'm not as enamored as I was with the first season. But I do like it.
I like this show more as a binge all at once, like I did the first season.
Yeah, possibly.
And I just realized I had my camera off. But yeah, I liked it more as like it was perfect for doing like 2 episodes at a time. So now I'm kind of stacking them. I haven't seen the last one, so
Yep.
it's
Not
good.
much.
I've enjoyed it.
There's a cool reveal at the end, which will
Okay.
be awesome next episode. So we'll talk about that next week. And I have watched season 2 of Better Call Saul about a year after I watched the first season. You're currently doing a binge, I believe, another watch.
I am about to end my second. I've only seen it the one time, and I'm about to end season 4. We have 1 episode left in season 4 at this point.
Okay. Well, season 2, the show is it's slower than Breaking Bad. There's not as much stuff going on as far as Breaking Bad had a lot going on for it. You had a teacher who had cancer who was selling drugs on the side, actually created a new drug, and everybody knows the story of Breaking Bad. There's a lot there. Better Call Saul is just the prequel to that. What happened with Jimmy, who is Saul, and how he becomes Saul. And he's a lawyer in Albuquerque and all that stuff you already know, and how he becomes that lawyer, and the people that he meets, his girlfriend, and the people that he works with, and his brother, who is amazing in this show, Michael McKean. This season 2, had a lot to do with starting his own business with Ray Seahorn, who we just talked about recently in Pluribus. And they are starting a business, and she's leaving the big firm that's run by Jimmy's brother, who's played by Michael McKean. And he has this weird disease, or it may be a mental thing, where he can't be around electricity or electronics, and he has to stay in his house with no electricity at all, in the dark. And he covers himself in electric blankets, those big tinfoil blankets that you do if you're like stuck on a mountain somewhere. But he has that, and Jimmy, through all the stuff, his brother gives him a lot of shit, and Jimmy's still there, still trying to take care of him, even after all of the kind of mental abuse that he's given him throughout the years. overall, it's a really good show. I'm interested to see where this goes. I know going forward, there are a lot more connections to Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
What is the timeline as far as this show is? How many years are we before Breaking Bad? Do you know?
I believe this show takes place in 2005.
Okay, so only a couple
four.
of years. Okay,
So it's a few years, I think.
okay.
A majority of it happens around 03, 04, 05. So did you get to see I can't remember because every time I binge it, everything just runs together. Like they just introduced the big bad of the show, who's just a complete fucking psychopath, and is the arch rival of Gus Fring. And I thought he was in way more, but he doesn't come until like the end of season 4. Fucking awesome guy. But like there's like a courtroom scene with Chuck and Jimmy. Did you see that?
I don't think I have.
Okay,
No,
I don't think you did either. I think
it.
it's early into season 2. I think you're a few episodes away.
Okay.
Or it might be
because there's
season 3, but yeah, it's
that
awesome.
that would make sense because at the end of season 2, there's definitely some Jimmy's brother is trying to get him to fess up to fucking him over.
Yep. So you're
so
right.
That's where it's leading. Okay. That's where it's leading up to. Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, some stuff does happen. Season 3 is excellent. So far, the only bad episode of the show, I think, is the first episode of season 2.
Okay.
Wasn't great. But besides that, I love the show. It's a completely different pace. I like the lawyer aspect of it.
Yep.
And of course, now towards the end of season 4, now we're getting to Breaking Bad territory, and
yep.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't.
Wait for you to get there.
I can't. Yeah, I'm gonna continue. I'm not gonna take a break like I did before. I'm gonna continue watching this on until I finish it. But
yeah,
so far so good, and we'll talk about it as weeks come along.
Yeah.
Watched a couple of movies that we're gonna talk about. First one is one I saw you watched on Twitter or X, and Begonia. This is starring Emma Stone and what's his name, Jesse Plemons, or
and
a real life couple.
Kid.
And an autistic kid who plays Jesse Plemons' brother.
No, he's with what's her name from Spider-Man? He's not with Emma Stone.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I completely.
I get them confused too. They both played essentially the same character.
They did, yeah.
The love interest of Spider-Man, but yes.
But overall, this is a really good movie. Very strange. And it reminded me a lot of, I know I've talked about it on the podcast before, a movie called Safety Not Guaranteed, which is
I gotta see that.
You gotta see it. It's Aubrey Plaza and
I remember wanting to see it because Mark Duplass,
Mark Duplass, yep.
Work with his sister-in-law.
But yeah, you do, yeah.
To me, Begonia is it's an excellent movie. I don't think anyone can say it's not a very good movie. Your feeling about this movie is gonna depend on the last 15 minutes. Yep. I feel like up until that point, I feel like everyone could pretty much watch this and be like, that's a really well-made movie. It's acted really well. They got a real-life autistic person because you can't have somebody fake autism anymore. No more Edward Nortons in this world. But I think it's a really solid film. Without saying the twist ending, how did you feel about the ending and the film overall?
I saw it a mile away. That's why I'm comparing it to Safety Not Guaranteed. I saw it a mile away, and the acting is very good. The only problem I have with it is the soundtrack of this movie. Not the soundtrack, but the score of this movie. I hated. I hated the score. I didn't like how it paced the movie. Overall, 4 out of 5 for me, and I really did enjoy it. It's definitely worth watching.
Yep.
So yeah. Another movie. Did you have a chance? I hope you did, to watch Predator to Badlands.
No, I'm probably gonna watch it tonight or tomorrow.
Okay, this movie is awesome. I won't talk about too much, but I love this new main character. I love the way the story is going. It's very much more. There's so much to talk about it. We'll talk about it next week, maybe, but it's opening up a world of the Predator that I never thought we'd actually see. After watching all of those Predator movies, the Predator being the bad guy, that's all I'll say. Overall, 4 out of 5 for me. Great movie. Visually great movie. Set in a brand new setting, brand new enemies, brand new everything. And I like, what's her name? Is that Elle Fanning who plays the robot in this? Is that the other Fanning's sister? I believe that's who that is, right?
Yes, I believe
Yeah,
so.
she's great. She's great in this too. The Yutani from Alien is in this, and she's one of the robots. And there's a couple of her. As you know, the Utanis are robots, so of course there would be. So yeah, great movie. Definitely worth watching. Anybody who wants to see that. But next week, we're gonna have a little bit of homework. We're gonna preview it this week, and we're gonna watch it for next week. But there's a movie that's been going viral for a few years now. Came out in 2002, and it stars some great actors. It has Kate Beckinsale. It has Matthew McConaughey as Peter Dinklage before Game of Thrones, and it has Gary Oldman and what's described in the trailer as the role of a lifetime. When you're thinking right on top of your head, it's like, wow, that sounds like a really amazing movie, but I don't remember anything with Matthew McConaughey and Gary Oldman. This one must have went right under the radar, and it did for a lot of people. The movie is called Tiptoes, and the reason why it's going viral is because Gary Oldman plays a midget who goes down on his knees circa Dwarf on Golf from like the 1980s and 70s and walks the whole entire movie around on his knees like he's a short person. The trailer is hilarious the way they cut it together. It looks like it's a festival movie, like it's something that's going to win Sundance or it's going to win the big Oscar of the year. Like I said, in the trailer itself, it says Gary Oldman in the role of a lifetime. I have this movie, and we're going to watch it for next week. And this looks interesting, to say the least. I don't know what we're getting into. I've seen fake reviews on Amazon to say it's the best movie ever. So you already know what you're gonna get with that. So we'll talk about that next week. We'll talk about that, and maybe we'll get into Predator Badlands a little bit more when you watch it. But that's all we watched this week, and we're gonna jump right into the news. And it's not a news segment without the trailer around it. Here we go. There was a new trailer for the making of Stranger Things: One Last Adventure. I believe this comes out next week on the 12th. And it's the whole behind the scenes of the show and everything.
Making of the last season's documentaries usually go very poorly, so this should be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see.
The Game of Thrones one created so many memes and people discussing about the last season even more. It actually was like backfired on the show, so should be good.
Were you in on the conformity gate stuff?
Oh my god!
Online this week,
the kids in my Discord were all over it.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, there was rumors that there was going to be a last episode on Wednesday night, and there was.
This thing about how the internet now, like every time something doesn't go the way they want it to, and this makes me think of another situation, and they think that they can just bully their way into getting more of a product.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping that it was true, and the Duffer Brothers would intentionally release an even worse version of the finale, because I think that would have been fucking hilarious.
Yeah. You know where that came from.
Could you imagine if they did it and they just made a worse version just on purpose?
Right. You know where that came from? It came from the success of the release of Snyder Cut. I mean, that's
what I was referring to as the other situation. Yeah. Exactly. Well,
I mean, the fans that was the fought first, for that.
That was the first online one. Of course, it happened with Family Guy. And before that, I think it happened with Star Trek back in the late 60s, which is kind of crazy because it had to be like handwritten letters to the fucking studio to get that show greenlit for season 3. So, but now it's every time something comes out that they don't like, they can do online campaigns. And I mean,
you forget about Family Guy. That show was not popular.
Family Guy was
came out on DVD.
They packaged the first 2 seasons on DVD, and
did huge.
That was like emailing. I think they were emailing at that time, the studio.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, it was only off the air for like 1 year. Like it almost didn't even miss a beat. Like it was so popular the second the DVDs came out. But WWE Unreal coming out January 20th for a second season. Got a new trailer for that.
tackling everything up to SummerSlam. Not a lot of John Cena stuff this time. I'm guessing they're going to do a full documentary about his farewell tour. I'm not even sure if it'll be a season of this or a whole show. I'm not sure, but Netflix, now the home of WWE library, it left Peacock on January 1st. Netflix officially the home of it, including all the documentaries, including all the pay-per-views of the past, some Raws, some Attitude Era moments and stuff like that. And a lot of the documentaries that have been done throughout the years are on there as well. So if you want to check out the archive of Netflix, all that WWE stuff is on there now. So yeah. And Unreal season 1 was really good, so I'm interested to see how season 2 is. Talks a lot about Seth Rollins faking his injury and coming back at SummerSlam and winning the title, so I'm interested in that. We'll see. We got a movie that looks like Logan, but with Robin Hood, starring Hugh Jackman, called The Death of Robin Hood, and this is an aged Robin Hood, and talking about the myth of his legend and all this and that, and trying to set the record straight of who he really was, and how he was give to the poor, steal from the rich type of attitude, but maybe he was a little bit more bad than that.
Yeah,
Trailer looked okay. We'll have to wait and see.
I liked
do
it
like
better
Hugh Jackman.
When it was called Logan. That was a fun one.
The trailer looks like Logan. It does.
This picture doesn't help, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've always been a Robin Hood fan. You?
Some of the movies, yes.
Okay.
Some of the newer ones, not really. No.
Did you like Prince of Thieves, Kevin Costner?
I did. Yeah, I like that.
Did not know until this week because I was watching Count of Monte Cristo. By the way, that's a 5 out of 5 movie. There's my review. Same director as Robin Hood. Did not know that. I love the Kevin Costner Robin Hood. I grew up on that. That was like my version. I've enjoyed. I didn't like the Russell Crowe one. Right, that was one.
I did not like that one either, and there was one before that too that I didn't like. I can't remember who was in that one.
I do like. I know I don't like spoofs, but I do like Men in Tights.
I like that one too
because Carrie L. That's kind of a spoof, right, or whatever. A mockumentary. Carrie L's just so awesome.
That's Mel Brooks too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is Mel Brooks. Yeah, that's why it's so goddamn good.
That's why it's good. Yep. Brand new movie called Whistle, starring Daphne Keane, who was Weapon X in the Logan movie.
Speaking of Logan,
it's a horror film that follows a group of students who find an Aztec death whistle and discover that the sound that it emits will summon their future deaths to hunt them down, and they see like ghosts of themselves from the future that are coming and going to kill them. Trailer looked interesting. This comes out February 6th. Another horror movie. Another action movie that reminded me a lot of when Kick-Ass came out. And it was a viral Red Band trailer that came out before with a lot of action. This reminded me of that, called They Will Kill You, starring Zazie Beetz, who was, if you've seen Deadpool, she played Domino. It has, Tom Felden, who played Draco Malfoy in the Harry Potter, Heather Graham, and Patricia Arquette. A lot of action, a lot of blood. It's about this woman who goes into this, looks like a apartment building, and there's kind of like a murderous plot going on against her that they're going to try to sacrifice her. And she has to save herself, and she has to go in and try to save her life from all these people coming after her. Produced by Andy Muschietti from It. So yeah, very interesting. Comes out on March 27th. Poster looks awesome. Trailer looks awesome too. So definitely keep an eye on that. Another movie coming out on Amazon Prime. This comes out at the end of the month, January 28th, called Wrecking Crew. The Wrecking Crew, starring Dave Bautista, Jason Momoa. It's set in Hawaii. A lot of action. Looks really good. Under my radar until this week, and it's been taking the internet by storm. A lot of action. Just a good old fashioned action movie. So definitely keep an eye on that.
The two guys that were down to the final two for Drax, I believe, right? Momoa was like the runner-up, allegedly. Yeah. That should be fun. They're both good actors and they're fun. So I'm looking forward to this. I knew nothing about it.
Yeah, a lot of humor in it. Been mentioning this every once in a while. Good luck, have fun, don't die. Sam Rockwell comes from the future, is trying to save the future from the past, and he kind of takes a diner hostage and all the people inside of it. Starring Michael Pena, Zazie Beetz again, Juno Temple. It looks really good. looks like it's some sort of a time travel fuckery movie. This comes out on February 13th.
Mhm.
Again, we'll keep an eye on that. And speaking of Mel Brooks, this is awesome. A 2-part documentary coming out in just a couple of weeks on January 22nd on HBO called Mel Brooks, the 99-year-old man. He did a skit with Carl Reiner back in the day, 1,000-year-old man. So it's kind of a little spoof on that. But talking about his career, talking about his life and how old he is, and reminiscing about everything in the past. And I cannot wait for this. I'm very excited. Besides this and Spaceballs, still having Mel Brooks is definitely a great thing in Hollywood. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that turns out in a couple of weeks. We'll definitely be talking about it. But let's get into the news. Box office last week for the 3rd week in a row. Avatar: Fire and Ash was number 1, 40 million. Zootopia 2 in the 6th week became number 2 with 19 million. And The Housemaid in the 3rd week made 14.8 for number 3. I definitely want to see The Housemaid. A lot of hype for that A24 movie, so very excited to see that when we have our hands on it. Fire and Ash is going to be blazed past $1 billion this week in just 18 days of release. Ticket sales for that is, like we mentioned, in America, not that huge, 306 million domestically, but overseas it made 777 million. And went over $1 billion this week, estimated to be about 1.5 to 1.7 billion in the total run of it. Not the highest Avatar movie, but still making gangbuster numbers for Disney. So, Evangeline Lilly. I know you watched Lost.
Yes.
I know her from Wasp.
Yep.
From Ant-Man and the Wasp and the MCU, but she got I know she had some sort of a accident. I don't know if it was a car. Was it a car accident or a boulder fell on her? I have no idea what happened. She had some sort of an accident and she ended up fainting, hitting her face on a boulder in Hawaii. And she says she has brain damage. I remember, was it like 6 months ago? She said she retired from Hollywood. I don't know if that had something to do with it or what it was.
She's retired a few times. She retired after Lost, and I think Ant-Man and the Wasp was the first thing she had filmed since the end of Lost. Like, she had projects released after Lost, but she pretty much finished after Lost, and then came back for Ant-Man and the Wasp. But
she says
Ant-Man.
Yeah, she says she has a lot of cognitive decline, and she's a great actress. Everything I've seen her in, which is basically MCU stuff. I think I've seen her in a couple other things, but I haven't seen Lost, so I don't know how she was in that. But I know a lot of people love her from that.
She's awesome in Lost. She is fantastic.
And we got the Actor Awards, formerly known as the SAG Awards. We got the nominations this week. This is going to be airing on Netflix, I believe, on March 1st. And we got nominees for Best Female Actor. We've got the only one that I know from this, the movies I've seen, is Chase Infinity, One Battle After Another, and Emma Stone from Begonia. I love Chase Infinity and One Battle After Another.
She's great.
The girl from that movie.
Those are both good performances. I knew Emma would be nominated because anytime she works with that director, she's nominated. So,
Best Actor, Timothy Chalamet and Marty Supreme. You haven't had a chance to see that yet, have you?
No, I really want to though.
Yeah, I want to see that too. Leo in One Battle After Another, of course. Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon. I don't know what that is. Ethan Hawke being in the running for an award is kind of interesting. 30 years after his major popularity. Michael B. Jordan in Sinners. Awesome in that movie. Jesse Plemons, Begonia. Yeah, I don't know who should win that. Leo's great in that movie, but Michael B. Jordan, I think, is the best part of that movie. He plays two roles, for Christ's sakes, and does an amazing job at it. So, what we got? Best female actor in a supporting role: Ariana Grande for Wicked, Tiana Taylor from One Battle After Another, Wunmi. I don't know how to say her name, but she was Agent 47. I think that was her name in Deadpool and Wolverine and Loki. She's great in that. But the one I want to see, I love Amy Madigan in Weapons. I love her turn in that movie. I love what you find out about her in that movie. I would love to see her win that award, especially 30 years after she really was a household name as far as an actress is concerned. Best Supporting Actor, Miles Canton from Sinners. Great in that movie. He sang all the songs. He was amazing. Benicio del Toro in One Battle After Another. Great in that movie. Underrated performance in that. Underrated actor. Not a lot of people talk about him.
Yeah, he's great.
Jacob Elordi, Frankenstein, great in that. He did a great transformation in that movie. Paul Mescal. I don't know what Hamnet is. I know it's very popular. I believe it's Zoe Zhao, whatever.
So, yeah.
Who did Eternals.
Yep.
And Sean Penn in One Battle After Another. He was great in that too. Loading. Best cast in a motion picture. Best ensemble. Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme. I want to see that. One Battle After Another, and Sinners. I love the cast of Sinners, up top to bottom. I think Sinners could win not only this but the Oscars this year. Could do some big.
It's got a uphill battle considering it was released in March.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
which is why the new Dune is probably going to stick to a December release because they fucked the other two because they were released in March.
Right. Yeah. Now we're going into TV. Best female actor in a drama. Britt Lower in Severance, great in that show. White Lotus, I haven't seen, and Ray Seahorn, first time nominated, I believe, for the SAG Awards, Screen Actor Awards. And she's nominated for Pluribus, so that's really cool. Male actor in a drama series, Sterling K. Brown for Paradise, great in that show. Walter Goggins, I gotta watch White Lotus. I know he's great in that. From everything I hear. Also, Slow Horses. I hear that's great, and I hear Gary Oldman farts a lot in that. He's nominated, and The Pit. I'm not into medical dramas, but I know that's huge right now. With Noah Wiley. Best female actor in a comedy series. Catherine Hahn in The Studio. She's great in that. Same with Catherine O'Hara. Jenna Ortega in Wednesday. Jean Smart in Hacks. I believe she's won a few of these awards in the prior seasons. And Kristen Wiig. I don't know what Palm Royale is. And Best Actor in a Comedy Series. Ike Barinholtz for The Studio. Excellent. Adam Brody. Nobody Wants This. Don't know what that is. Same with Ted Danson, The Man on the Inside. Seth Rogen for The Studio. I want Ike to win over him. Martin Short in Only Murders in the Building. Keep going here. Best actor in a television movie or limited series. I know there's a reason why I have that. Oh yeah, it was Charlie Hunnam for Monster. Yeah, and Adolescent, that guy Stephen Graham, he wins a lot of awards. You've seen him in everything. He's been in the Venom movies. And Owen Cooper, who plays, I believe, his son or the young kid in that show, which I've not seen. I hear is good, but they're both nominated for Best Actor in a limited series. And Best Ensemble in a Drama, The Diplomat, Landman, The Pit, Severance, and White Lotus. A lot of people like White Lotus, but I love the cast of Severance. I would be interested to see that. Best Ensemble in a Comedy Series, Abbott Elementary, Only Murders in the Building, The Studio, Hacks, and The Bear. Now that The Studio is in the conversation, that cast is pretty spectacular. The Bear has probably won this a few times. Only Murders I can see winning that cast is pretty great too overall. But yeah, Screen Actors Guild, I believe it's March 1st happens. I don't think I have any more awards for that. Nope. We'll get into that in a minute. I'll keep it there so you can get a little preview or we're going to be talking about in a minute. But little update on Warner Brothers. The Warner Brothers Discovery Board again dismissed Paramount's hostile takeover attempt, branding it as inadequate and a risk to the company due to its reliance on an extraordinary amount of incremental debt. In other words, Netflix. Warner Brothers rejected $108 billion offer for this hostile takeover. Netflix only offered $82.7 billion, but remember that does not include the cable networks, which
it's only
Paramount would have.
The streaming and the Warner Brothers studio,
Yep, the studio itself. Even though it's $25 billion higher, you're still it's like getting a little extra package in there. Eighth time that Paramount has been denied. The board says they will need more money to reconsider its deal with Netflix just because they think it's more lucrative. So yeah, and the other part of this is movie theater chains. We talked about actors, we talked about the directors going against this. Now the movie theater chains are going to Capitol Hill in Washington, and they're going to go talk to Congress about it. bringing up their opposition to the sale as well. So everybody in Hollywood is against it. A lot of the majority of America is against it because it's going to kill theater releases eventually. Maybe not right away. Ted Sarandos is saying no. We're going to be in theaters, even the 17-day window thing we talked about last week. But in 5 years, I can see there definitely being if there's a decline in the theaters, and it's not worth it to them just to go right directly to streaming for everything. Because that is Netflix bread and butter, and everybody in Hollywood knows that, and that's why there's such an uproar right now. But like you mentioned opening the show, South Park is now on Fortnite, and it's a continuation of the Stick of Truth. In fact, there's a great trailer, almost like a short episode of South Park, hyping this up. It's called it's Fortnite Born in Chaos, where Captain Chaos Butters comes in, takes the whole school bus from South Park hostage and sends them into the Fortnite world. And you see them with mecha suits and
that's the skin I got Butters. I didn't. Awesome. The entire bundle would have been like $30, and nobody in the squad wanted to like team up because I'm like the biggest South Park person. And they also added because of this 5-person thing. I think it might be the first time they've done 5 people in a package drop.
Oh, that's cool.
So now you can squad up with 5 people for the next 3 weeks. They're probably just testing that out, so that's cool that you can run with an extra person in your squad, so somebody doesn't have to sit out a game and stuff. Yeah, it's been fun. I only played a few games, but it's cool so far.
Nice.
And Towley's the sidekick, which is awesome. I have to unlock Towley.
Yep, and the weapon that you try to find is a Stick of Truth, like I mentioned, the sequel to the original South Park game like a decade ago. So renewed for a 5th and final season, Mayor of Kingstown on Paramount. Never saw it. I know it's a Taylor Sheridan show. Starring Jeremy Renner, but it's coming out for a 5th season, final one. I saw this going around, no official word from HBO, but House of the Dragon is going to end with season 4. Showrunner Ryan Condal has said that.
Yep. I said that before the show started that I don't see any way they can make it go more than 4 seasons. And they already season 2 is kind of a get to what's going to happen type of season. So they're just kind of there to keep the show going, and to what we're gonna get. But I can't either.
I can't wait for this summer. Glenn Powell back as Chad Powers for season 2. Started filming this week again. Tomb Raider officially announced their cast on Amazon. Sophie Turner playing Laura Croft, but we got a whole bunch of other actors, including Sigourney Weaver, Jason Isaac, who is great. Trying to see who else is who I know from this. I don't really know too many other people, but I cannot wait for this show. I love those movies. I never played the games. I wasn't huge in the PlayStation back in the day, so I love the sci-fi aspect of the movies with Angelina back in the day. So interested to see that. Did you watch Beef season 1 on Netflix?
Everyone loves it.
Everybody does love it. Yeah. Joining the cast for season 2, you got Oscar Isaac, Carey Mulligan, and Kaylee Spiney, who we love from Alien Romulus. She was in Civil War last year. She was great in that. Coming out on April 16th. We didn't get a trailer for it yet, but Netflix did announce that this week. Also, another movie coming out with Eric Andre and John Cena called Little Brother. Comedy follows a famous real estate agent whose carefully curated world is upended when his eccentric little brother unexpectedly reappears. John Cena playing a real estate agent. John Cena can play anything, really.
He can.
Yeah, he's very much good. He's a very versatile actor. But Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried, The Housemaid, gets a sequel after the box office was. Yeah, I really do want to see that movie, so that's definitely on the radar. Jackass coming out with another movie, Jackass 5, I believe, on June 26th, announced this week. Bam Margera coming in for, I believe he had a falling out during the last movie, but coming in for this one. We got brand new Empire magazine covers for Lord of the Rings 25th anniversary. One on the left is the subscriber exclusive, which looks really, really cool. These are all coming back into theater, the extended versions as well. I love those movies. I love those more than The Hobbit. Speaking of that, Ian McKellen confirms that Gandalf and Frodo will reunite in the new Lord of the Rings movie, The Search for Gollum or whatever it's called. It's going to start filming in May, and it's going to be directed by Gollum. It's going to be all about Gollum. Andy Serkis is directing it. So yeah. And a live action Tangled. Do you ever see Tangled, the animated Pixar?
No.
It's one of the better ones. It's a good one. It had what's his name who played Shazam was Flynn Rider. Zachary. Yeah, he played the lead. But they got two brand new members. I don't know who they are. Tegan Croft and Milo Manheim. But yeah, Tangled coming in live action. But Catherine Hahn is going to be playing the villain, Mother Gothel. So yeah, I love Catherine Hahn. I like that movie, Tangled. So yeah, I'll have to wait and see. Brand new first looks for another more first looks for Toy Story 5 and Mandalorian Grogu. Two most hyped up Disney movies for the year. And speaking of Star Wars, Tom Cruise visited the set of Starfighter, ended up going in the swamp scene that they were filming in a lightsaber battle, and decided that he was going to pick up the camera and start filming. So he filmed a lightsaber battle, one of the duels in this muddy pond, holding the camera like a pro. And that's what Sean Levy said. Yeah, I cannot wait for Star Wars Starfighter. This comes out next year, not this year.
27,
yeah. Very excited for that. Let's talk about some swag.
Swag! Stuff we all get.
Come on, son. You know that's right.
Some new pop figures. We got a Ghostface. Looks like he's been attacked a little bit. We got Welcome to Derry. It looks like Pennywise coming out of the sewer. We've got Superman ripping himself from a kryptonite hold. And we got Spider-Man coming off a building with a little bit of symbiote goo stuck to the building. Looks really cool. We got some McFarlane figures that look pretty decent. We've got Lizard and we got Gambit. I love the McFarlane figures. I like the ones that are statue-like. Those are really cool. And coming out from Hot Toys, an underrated Batman game in the Arkham series, Batman Arkham Origins. And we got the figure from that, the early days of Batman. That game is very, very good. Again, It's not part of the original trilogy. It's kind of set aside. It's done from another studio, but with the same characters, same look and everything. In fact, it has never been re-released other than when it was on PS3, I believe, and Xbox. And it's not part of any of the box sets or anything of the Arkham games that have been out since then. A lot of people want it to be remastered, but has not yet. But yeah, we got a brand new Hot Toys figure. It looks really, really cool. Lots of figures, lots of weapons, and lots of cool stuff coming out with that. We got the brand new first look at Superman versus Homelander in the DC KO Boss Battle #1. That's the cover on the right, and that's the look inside of Superman facing Homelander. That looks really cool. Comes out February 4th. What else we got? Brand new look of Supergirl, Millie Alcock. She's gonna kill this movie. I know she is. Cannot wait for that. Speaking of DCU, speaking of Elseworlds, Sebastian Stan news came out this week of him potentially joining Robert Pattinson in the Batman 2. Speculation gone wild of who he could play, and the number one person is
Harvey Dent.
Not the story of Two-Face, but the build up to it, like you mentioned
Hopefully,
before.
yeah. I'd like it, yeah. Do it in separate, like, even though I loved, because I think Eckhart is like one of the most underrated parts of the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
He basically becomes Two-Face and then dies 20 minutes later. I'd like a full, like, see them like actually like interact for like a whole movie and then him not become the character until either a spin-off TV show and then maybe he's already there in the Batman Part 3 or something like that. But yeah, I'm excited. This movie
the casting is definitely picking up. Barry Coogan, when this news also came out. Barry Coogan reportedly coming back for as the Joker in Batman 2 as well.
Redesign him.
Yeah, redesign him. He was in the deleted scene. He kind of had a little small scene through a window in the Batman, and then there was a deleted scene that came out with him in full like interrogation mode. Was it Batman that was yeah, I believe so.
It was Batman, but it also would have given away the ending of the movie, so that's why they cut it.
Yeah.
I honestly think that was like a makeup test. They knew it was never going to be in the movie, and they just kind of wanted some feelers out. I think that's kind of what it was. Because they released it, like the movie was still in the theater, and they released it on their YouTube page
That's
for
right.
free.
Yeah, that weekend. Yeah.
Like literally, like when the movie came out. So I think
Yep.
it could be just a gauge to see how people feel about that version. We'll see if they change anything about it, but I think Keegan's an excellent actor, and he'll kill that role. I just hope they do something about the makeup. But I have no faith in
I
him.
want.
I
I want to. I say this about the MCU too. I want to see something different though. Like I say about Spider-Man all the time. We've seen
Right.
Joker how many times?
This
I
is
say that
why
about Superman too.
I like
all the time.
the direction of where they went with the lead scene to where he's just around, but he's not going to be a main villain. Like
Right.
if he just gets visited, like if he's like Hannibal Lecter and Batman just goes and gets advice from him or whatever the case is, like he's just there, but he's not like a main part of the series is what I want. Because it is like the yin and the yang. Like it's tough to do a real Batman story without him. So if you could do it with him there, but not have him be the main focus, I think that'd be the way to go. This time around.
How old is Robert Pattinson? Is he our age or a couple years younger?
He's just turned 40.
Okay, so he's close to our age. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cannot wait to see that. I'm not a big, huge fan. I've talked about it multiple times. Not a big, huge fan of the first Batman. Loved the Penguin. That was incredible. Interested to see how he turns this universe out a few years after the first movie. It was going to be 5 years after the first movie when this actually
Something
comes
like
out.
that,
Something like interested to see that. Casting looks
5.5
interesting. So.
5.5, basically, because it comes out in October. The other one came out in March.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
we'll have to wait and see. Marketing picking up for Wonder Man comes out the end of the month. All the episodes dropping in one day, which I think is a bad idea. But viral marketing for superpowers being banned in Hollywood. And a lot of marketing for magazines and newspapers and posters throughout Hollywood going online. Also an acting coach to the stars with Trevor Slattery on the front. I'm interested in this. I'm interested in the character, seeing where it goes, but I don't have a lot of hope. I don't think Disney has a lot of hope for it if they're dropping all the episodes at once. So we'll have to wait and see. Who knows? Finally, in news, trailers are dropping all the time for Doomsday. A lot of speculation about what's going to happen with Doomsday. Of course, the HD version of the Cyclops trailer came out, which was just as awesome as I hoped it would be. The new trailer coming out next week, it released today, was Siri, Namor, what's his name, the new king of Wakanda, and Ben Grimm the Thing, all talking, all interacting in a desert setting. Not sure where they're coming from, what they're going, where they are, even if this is just when the Fantastic Four landed on this universe, who knows. But still speculation there's going to be one every week, even though the original rumor was only 4 leading up to the Super Bowl. But what is this like? Where are we going with this? Where is this all leading? So speculation has been around, like, what is Doom's plan? And some things that I want to mention now before it becomes pre-viral. Heroes that were born through multiversal crossover. And maybe that's what Doom is going after, the anomalies of these multiverses. Like Shang-Chi. He was born out of multiversal fuckery. His mother was from another universe. And we know he's going to be playing a big part of Avengers. Maybe Doom is going to be coming after him. Also, the 10 Rings, the origin. We know it's some sort of a multiverse / galactical origin of those rings. There's a beacon going off at the end of Shang-Chi. Is that going to play a part in this? Is his mother being from another dimension, from a father being another dimension? Is that going to be playing a part, him being the anomaly? Also, the Steve Rogers child trailer, we know that's an anomaly. Steve is not supposed to be there with Peggy. He's not supposed to have a child with her. Is that going to set up a radar for Doom to come after him? And I mean, he's supposed to do a task. He didn't do it correctly. Had a whole family and a life. He can't do that. He's fucking with the multiverse. In America Chavez, right there in Multiverse of Madness, she can open up portals in the multiverse. That's an anomaly right there in just one person. So, times the multiverse has been fucked with. There's been many, not just in the MCU, but it started way back in X-Men Days of Future Past when Wolverine and the X-Men reset the timeline of the X-Men universe. Is that the universe we're getting into? is that this brand new universe. I guess that would be considered the Logan universe. I don't know, or maybe that's another universe. Who knows? But did that set up an alarm for Doom? Same with Deadpool 2 and Deadpool and Wolverine. We already know that Deadpool went back in time, changed a lot of things. Did that set up some sort of a multiversal beacon for Doom to go after him because of the multiversal fuckery of those two movies? And speaking of multiversal fuckery, the whole movie of Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, most notably the Illuminati scene, when Scarlet Witch just kills everybody on the Illuminati round table. That could definitely set up a beacon. In the Marvels, there's incursions in that, and of course the Monica Rambeau at the end. She's stuck in some sort of an X-Men universe. We see a brand new comic accurate Beast at the end of that. In Spider-Man No Way Home, probably the biggest problem, because he makes the world forget he's Spider-Man. Everybody only knows Peter Parker, and is Doctor Doom hunting all of these multiversal anomalies, or is he recruiting him? That's the big question going into Doom. But very excited for that movie. Very excited for Spider-Man, seeing where everything goes. Excited for comic books right now, because we're kind of in an unknown territory compared to where we were probably about a decade ago. So interested to see where everything goes, DC and Marvel. That's it for our show this week. There's a documentary that's out on CNN. It's the only place you can get it. It's called I'm Chevy Chase and You're Not. I used to like Chevy Chase growing up. A couple of his movies, of course, the vacation movies. Everybody knows those. Everybody from all points say that he's an asshole in real life. And the documentary points that out. I do want to see that. It's 2 hours, I believe. It's on CNN. I'm trying to get my hands on that. Talk about Fallout Episode 5. We're going to talk about Tiptoes. That's the big thing. And if you end up watching Badlands, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Better Call Saul if I continue watching that or not. But thank you, everyone. And we will talk to you next week. Peace.
Later.
We're the Geek Blurb crew, here to enlighten you. Talking all things geeky, from movies to wrestling to our podcast is the place where you want to be for all the latest news and nostalgia from the 80s and 90s. We review comic book flicks and sci-fi hits, riding the wave of action movies with all the cool bits. From Iron Man to Star Wars, we cover it all. And when it comes to wrestling, we never drop the ball. Cheap Blurb, we're the kings of the nerds, rating movies and pineapples, our opinions never blurred. Join us each week for a geeky chat, with the latest scoop and a dose of nostalgia that. So if you're a fan of the comic book craze, or a lover of sci-fi and all its maze, tune in to Geek Blurb. We're here to entertain, bringing you the best in